Okay, so I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to share with the rest of the world my suffering that comes from having to deal with Cloud 4. So this is I'm giving this prompt to Cloud 4 that something is broken, and I tell it what the problem is probably related to, and I ask it to check. Now, just for future reference, I gave exactly the same prompt later to 3.7 Sonnet, and let's see what Cloud 4 does. Claude 4 lists the directory contents. It reads the tasks files. Then it reads the session cache. Then it searches for files which sound like query parser. It finally finds the page. It looks at it. Then it looks at the actual component. Then it reads the unified parser code. Then it looks at the LLM service code. Now, by any stretch of the imagination, at this point, it should be able to identify what the problem is. But it keeps looking until finally I have to stop it and ask, what are you doing? So then it says, I was overcomplicating. And I'm like, really? No shit. And then it says, I see the issue and starts making a fix. Now, the problem with Cloud 4 is that when it starts making a fix without you knowing what that fix is, most likely it's going to break something. So I tell it not to fix anything. And then eventually I really have no choice but to use really harsh words for Claude 4. And I just hope that one day when the AI is in charge of military drones, it won't target me for being so mean to it. Now let's look at what 3.5 Sonnet does. I give it exactly the same prompt. It says, let me check the query parser tester implementation, right? And then it looks at the unified parser implementation. Now it's able to find these files much faster, probably because it's working within the Windsurf or VS Code interface, which has access to all the file information. And I think that's one major problem with the Claude desktop, is that it is disconnected from the actual files and folders on your computer, except through various MCP servers such as Desktop Commander. But anyway, it looks at these two files and then it says, I see the issue. The unified query parser is still using direct Gemini API calls instead of the unified LLM service. That's it. Bam. And it's ready to fix things. So this is what is the big difference between Cloud 4 and 3.5. And now I should be honest, when Cloud 4 does work, and it does work a lot, meaning that it does good work a lot. So you can see that I've labeled this entire session to denote my frustration with Claude. But then when it does work, it can do an incredible amount of work. And, I end up saying things like beautiful and thank you to Claude 4 to know that I appreciate the work it has done. So I guess this is what it is like to deal with these AIs in the early days of artificial intelligence. And hopefully things will become less frustrating over time. But it's a good time to be alive. So I have fun coding. And if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.